All right, well, looks like we are live. Hi, everyone. It's Randy Schrum here. Let me do a little quick systems check. Can my partners here hear me? Okay.
Yep.
Everybody good? All right, well, we're going to get started. Again, my name is Randy Schrum, and throughout this 45 minutes, 60 minutes of this hangout, we're going to be talking about how to get more leads for your business, and I'm going to be specifically talking about targeted leads. Not just myself, but the guests that we have on this hangout. They're going to be talking about how to generate targeted leads for your business, anywhere from 100 to 200 leads per day, and how to rank for what your prospects are searching for online. And all that we're going to be covering, none of this is from theory. You're going to be learning about this from our various businesses that we're running behind the scenes. So the teaching format for this hangout, it's going to be really hands-on. In fact, one of the things that you might notice with everyone that's on this hangout is they might even actually refer to some notes. And the reason why they might do that is because they want to actually deliver content rather than just lecture on ideas. And so from time to time, they might look down, they might grab something, and the reason for that is because they want to be very concise about what they're sharing and deliver real content that you can actually take action on after this webinar. So that all being said, it is a training format type of webinar. And so be ready to take notes, be ready to screen capture, be ready to do whatever you need to do to get the information, to take it and grow your business. So be sure that you're ready for that, and I'm giving you fair warning now because once we start diving into it, it's going to be awesome. In fact, I'm looking forward to hearing from our guest here on the Hangout, and you're going to be blown away. So that being said, a couple other things is you're going to want to make sure that you stay till the end, because we got some very special things that we're going to be sharing near the end of the Hangout, and we're going to be answering a lot of questions. So that brings me to another point, and that is if you've got questions, save those till the end, and we'll be sure to answer those. And we've got a list of questions what we'll probably field near the end as well. So let me see here. Let me look at my notes before we move on. And the next thing I want to do is introduce the team here that's on this Hangout. And we're going to bring out first, we're going to bring out Mr. John Lavinia. And let me share a little bit about his background before he jumps in and says hi. Now, John is a best-selling author, and he's known throughout the world for his ability to sell. His ability to sell at high-ticket events and high-ticket sales. And one other thing that you're going to find out about him on this Hangout is he is a webinar expert, and I'm talking in the millions of dollars type of expert. And so he's going to be dropping some nuggets of wisdom around the topic of webinars and sales. So John, why don't you jump out and say hi to everybody?
Well, I am here. Thank you, Randy. It's so good to be here with everybody on a Monday night. I can't think of a better way to spend a Monday night than talking about marketing. I mean, this is something, I'll just say this, just for my little piece here. Marketing is something that it's easy to fall in love with. It's a very interesting topic for people who are, looking to further themselves, for intelligent people, right? We'd like to know why do people make the buying decisions that they make, and how does the economy work around any business, whatever kind of business people are in. Marketing is one area where you put some time and some effort and some thought into it, and it pays dividends for your whole life. It's really a brilliant thing. So I'm really glad to be here participating with everybody here tonight. Thank you, Randy.
Awesome. Yeah, absolutely. And, with that being said, leads are the lifeblood of any business. Without leads, you wither and die. And so that's what we're going to be talking about, is how to generate leads and how to convert them. So our next guest here is Mr. Tony Rush, and he is one of the most successful online direct sales professionals in the industry today. And he has sold and earned millions of dollars online. And one of the things that's really big that I like to hone in on with Tony is he is a master copywriter, meaning he knows how to write emails that convert. And I've been following Tony for a very long time, and one of the things that I like to do is just read every single email he writes. It's almost like a novel, but it's full of suspense and it's full of attraction, and it makes me to do business with him. And so you're going to be hearing from Mr. Tony Rush tonight, and the information he'll be sharing, you definitely want your pen ready, or you want your paper ready, or you want an iPad or a phone to capture it, whatever you need to do to get that information. So I'm going to bring out Tony Rush here. Why don't you come on out and say hi to everybody?
Yeah, Randy, thanks for having me on. Well, thanks for the kind words. And I've got my pen and paper here too, so I'm looking forward to picking up some nuggets. Every time I come to one of these hangouts, even though I'm expected to speak, I always wind up coming away with a lot of information from co-hosts. But I'm particularly excited about tonight's webinar just because we are going to be covering we're clarifying some of the pitfalls and some of the wrong information that has floated around out there that in our experience, has caused people to spin their wheels and to stay stuck in their business and to perhaps in some cases get no results. Or at the very least, it seems that they've hamstringed themselves and the business is just much harder than it needs to be. So I'm excited that for the next 45 minutes or so, we're going to be able to clarify a lot of that, and people will leave here with a better understanding of what it takes to get more leads and how to convert those leads to sales.
Awesome. So one of the things you guys probably just noticed is that the screen wasn't locked on Tony the whole time. Sorry about that, but that's part of live webinars. And I'm looking forward to hearing more from Tony with his face actually being on the screen the whole time. Okay, so you have my commitment to make sure that that happens. So our next person is Mr. Bobby Baker, and Bobby is someone that you're going to meet tonight that he is responsible for a lot of success that you see online by people like myself, Tony, John, and the other gentleman I'm about to introduce. And his ability to take technology, and not just any technology, but online technology, and make it usable for marketers like myself to where we can generate scale, meaning generate sales at a larger scale and really systematize what we're doing. There's no better person than that than Mr. Bobby Baker. He really understands the complex and makes it simple for us and for the people who are working with us. So, Bobby, why don't you come out and say hi to everybody?
Hi. Yeah, I look forward to showing you guys the technology that we've built out over the past few months and showing you guys how you can take your business to the next level.
He is a man of few words, actually. But folks, one thing he's not a man of few coding, typing. He can code and do things behind the scenes that are absolutely incredible. So the last person I'm going to bring out, but certainly not least, is Mr. Christian Hinnicky. And here's what's awesome about Christian is he quietly, behind the scenes, earns a strong living online in any business that he chooses. And the methods that you're going to be learning on this hangout and what you're going to be learning from everyone, including Bobby and Christian, is what's responsible for how he generated over $1 million in revenue last year alone for his business. And so, and he's going to, and I won't try and steal his thunder, but a lot of that is attributed to the technology that they'll be demoing and how they use that tonight as well. So, Christian, why don't you jump out and say hi to everyone?
Hey, guys. Thanks for having me on. This is fun. A lot of accomplished, intelligent, amazing marketers here I get to share the hangout with tonight. So I'm glad you took time to register and show up here tonight. We're going to give you some actionable content. We're going to give you a heads up on pitfalls like Tony mentioned. I think we ought to just dig in, guys. I'm ready to go.
Let's do it. So what I'll do now is kind of lay out the agenda for the rest of the hangout. And
hold on, Randy. Hold on. We'd be remiss. We're missing one of the lineup. I've got to introduce Randy. Let me introduce you guys to this guy because he is a modest fellow and we have to watch him. He'll say nothing about himself. I flew halfway around the world to meet this guy. I knew him by reputation. He is generally regarded as being the #1 expert when it comes to marketing in social media and LinkedIn. He's been acknowledged by Facebook as being in the top 1% of their advertisers. This guy has a track record that the interesting thing is I've been working with him now for about 8 or 9 months, and it's like peeling layers off an onion because I knew that he had made a huge mark for himself in certain industries. And as recently as another week or two ago, we were talking about something, and he said, "Well, I've got a publishing company that has done pretty well in that area." And I'm, "What? Yeah, another company I don't know about?" And you peel the layers off the onion, and you find out there's a whole other multiple 7-figure story there. So you guys are in for quite a treat if you've never met Randy Shrum. He's from up in St. Louis, Missouri, and you're really, really going to enjoy what Randy's got to share with you tonight. So, Randy, thank you for letting me interrupt you, brother.
Yeah, absolutely, and I am excited, and I kind of jumped the gun there because I'm ready to dig in just like everybody else, and So here's what the agenda is, and so that you know, and so you understand how this is going to all flow. What we'll start off with is some stats, and we're going to share some interesting stats around some key areas, including LinkedIn, Facebook, search engine optimization or SEO. We're going to share some stats around webinars and sales, and we're also going to share some strategies and tips around those areas. And they're going to be major golden nuggets dropped because these are things that we're applying in our businesses. And so what we decided to do is to do this special hangout where we share some of our top level strategies, concepts, and tips around these areas. And so you want to get ready for that, and then we're going to dig into, right after that, we'll dig into the revolutionary technology that we've been using on top of all of that that's helping us really scale what we're doing. And you're going to hear from Bobby and Christian on that as well. And then after that, we'll show you how you can get your hands on that tool, how you can get hands-on training like we're talking about. So the commitment here is that we're going to deliver real content, real strategies, and at the end, we'll share with you how you can even get a hold of more. So if we deliver that kind of content and strategies on the webinar, it'd be fair enough for us to go ahead and share a little bit more how you can get access to even more of that. But then, certainly not least, we will stay till the end and answer some common type of questions that are asked when people decide they want to start working with us. So that all being said, let's do this. Let's go ahead and get started and start digging in, and we will turn this back, over first to John and Tony to start it off with some eye-opening content on their topic. So John and Tony, why don't you take it away?
Absolutely. You know, just with this little intro that we just did here, I'm thinking right now, right out of the gate, there's already a clue. Okay, now people who know me know that I'm a bit of a philosopher. I always look to take things apart and see why things work or why things don't work. Why did it break? Why did we fix it? I used to be a mechanic, right, in my earlier life. And I'm thinking right now about what just happened here, just in the first few minutes. And that is a variety of disciplines came together. Think about this, everybody. If you're an entrepreneur, you're in business. I mean, this one nugget could be worth your whole time here tonight. If you're an entrepreneur in business and you're trying to expand, you're trying to get some leverage, one thing to not do is to play small and try and do everything yourself. Now, this is something I did for years. And I had to admit, you know, that this was kind of like was a perfectionist. You know, if it's going to be done right, it's got to be done by me. Well, once I got to the point where I was looking to grow my business past $1 million a year, then it was like, well, you know what? I can't be all things to all people. I'm not a programmer like Bobby, and I don't know the stuff like Randy with the LinkedIn. So think about this. If you're going to have leverage, and then I'm going to talk a little bit about one way to get leverage here, but if you're going to have leverage as a general idea, the first thing you got to do is surround yourself with people who you can manage your weaknesses with their strengths. There's an old saying, develop your strengths, manage your weaknesses. You manage those weaknesses with the strengths of others. And I think right there is a major, major clue for anyone looking for not just incremental, but exponential increase in their results. That being said, one of my expertises, one of the things that I do is, as Randy mentioned, is I convert sales. I know how to get a much higher level of conversions from my marketing than your typical online marketer out there in the interwebs. Okay, when you look at how most people are attempting to run a business, let's say they're taking their business online, or they identify themselves as an internet marketer, whatever that means, they're attempting to get lots of traffic, lots of leads, and then hope that the sales funnel or the system does the conversions that is going to make it at least profitable. So I want you to think about this for a second. If you are an entrepreneur and you're investing money into advertising, you're creating leads, you're creating traffic to some web properties that you own, and you, at that point, are relying 100% on, or to a large percentage, on the machinery to do your converting for you, I think, and I've proven, that you're leaving a lot of money on the table. And I've seen people try and automate themselves right out of their own business. Now, I'm not saying that automation isn't good, but I'm saying automate what works, and things that can be automated, not everything can be. Now, here's where I'm going with this. I had, and Randy knows this, Christian, all these guys, all the founders of Business Labs Pro know what I'm about to say. We had a business project. This is real life, okay? This is a real scenario. Let me tell you a story. We had a business project that we were launching, about 9 months ago. And we decided that, actually I decided that it it was time to get it on the road. Like, we had some things prepared, some things done, lots of other things we could do. Think about this as it relates to the time-money continuum here, right? How long is it going to take for you to get to the dollars? Well, hopefully as short as possible, right? Some people balk at the idea of getting rich quick, but all right, if we just change the words and said make more money in less time, nobody balks at that. So that's what we want to do. By the way, I don't know any other way to get rich besides quick, right? More money in less time. That's the way to do it. So, so we were going to have more money in less time, and I decided, you know what? Let's take this thing to market. It's put together. It makes sense. People are ready for this. Let's take it to market. So I started thinking about what are the best, most effective ways to bring something to market without having to have 10 million pounds of machinery already in place and everything perfect, okay, which doesn't exist. What would be the most expeditious way to do this and get it in front of our ideal target audience? And so I said, well, let's do a webinar. No rehearsal, no script, no fancy product demos, no nothing. We just knew what we had. We knew what it would do for our public. We invited our ideal audience, and we went ahead and executed. Okay, now I'm going to tell you a couple of things because Randy mentioned stats, and I don't have hard numbers for you, but I will tell you more and more companies that are going online or who have been online are embracing webinars, and for a couple of reasons. Okay, in fact, we're doing a webinar right now. So again, we're demonstrating to you one thing that you could do, okay, if you wanted to increase your sales and your conversions online. Now, of course, this is all based on having traffic and having leads, which my colleague is going to talk about more. But once you've got some traffic, some leads, some audience, someone who's interested to whatever degree in your product, your service, your opportunity, more and more companies are recognizing how webinars, live video broadcasting like we're doing right now, is the most effective way to create the conversions and get maximal conversions, and get ready for this, is extremely inexpensive to do. A lot of people are intimidated by video. Oh my goodness, we're going into the production studio. Not necessarily. Each of us are in different parts of the world right now. Okay, now I think Randy and Christian might actually be in the same building because they had a meeting over in Florida or something, okay? But I'm traveling right now. I'm visiting relatives. I'm on the East Coast. I live in Utah, right? So we're all doing this right now, and it's costing us nothing except our time and our ability to communicate. Now I want you to think about this for a second. Compare that to what I gave an example of before, where people are attempting to just have the machinery do it for them. Here's the big difference and a big takeaway that I think that people can come away with tonight, is that if you didn't know me before 5 minutes ago when Randy introduced me, you now know, oh, I'm a guy who's an author, I've sold millions of dollars worth of product, I know the whole sales world, I've been in sales for 20 plus years, so I've got what? I've got an increased level of credibility. My authority in the marketplace has gone up just by virtue of the fact that an unknown became a known. Well, I want you to think about this. In communication, and you may want to write this down, in communication, people, they think they have to, and Tony's going to talk about copywriting, but they think they have to have the slickest copy in the world. I'm going to give you a tip. You could have mediocre sales copy. Okay, you could be a mediocre wordsmith, but when somebody looks at in your eyes and they see the truth and the conviction and the certainty with which you present your product, your service, your opportunity, that is, you know what, psychologists say that it's about 93% of communication is physiology and body language and facial expressions and stuff like that. 7% is the words. Take that to heart. Again, I don't know that those are hard and fast numbers, but it has paid dividends hugely. So instead of having to go through, back to our story, instead of having to go through countless more weeks or maybe months of preparation, okay, and hoping that we got it right, is the machine exactly perfect, and who knows, right, until you take it to market, right, everything's a test. We just said, you know what we know, and we know what people want. Let's put the two together. Here's a broadcast. Next thing you know, took off like mad. $10.2 million later, we stopped to take a look and assess what happened. Okay, it works, my friends, it works. Now, there are some things you want to know about this, and I've got such limited time. I see Tony's all ready to come out here. Tony's ready to talk. So I could talk to you for about 4 hours. In fact, I do in one of our courses that we have here in Business Labs Pro. We can talk about that more later. But there's so many things that I've picked up over 20, 25 years in sales that directly relate to how I do business online and how you can do business online more effectively. And of course, that's just one of the pieces in just one of our offerings here. So, but hopefully you got a couple ideas. And if you're not already doing webinars, or if you've been doing them ineffectively, we'd love to help you, get that rocket ship off the ground, because nothing has brought us more money faster than that, with the least so-called expertise, right? So there you go. Tony, I know. Here's one of my brothers from the South. This guy knows sales too. He knows the written word, he knows the spoken word, and he knows how to convert millions of dollars with a product and provide real benefit to the users. Okay, and I think that's one of the other things that you'll find out about Tony and all my colleagues here, is that we're about delivering real value. And I don't know if that rings a bell for anybody, but I've seen plenty of charlatans online, and I don't work with any of them. Okay, Tony Rush is the real McCoy. So, Tony, come on out here, brother.
Well, thank you. And I was listening to what you were saying there. How do you argue with the result? $10.2 million in sales in 6 months. And the beautiful thing is the way, and I got a front row seat for that, so I got to watch you construct and craft that machine. And the takeaway that I got it from, John, was how inexpensive it was for you to set that up, and how there was a couple of things to learn, and there was a couple of things that it's almost easier to do. It's easier to do them poorly than to do them well. But with a little bit of guidance, I mean, it's something that somebody else can duplicate no matter what they're marketing. So your machine for creating compelling webinars is magnificent, and it's probably one of the bigger takeaways people will get this weekend when they really stop and think about, hey, this is a new way for me to deliver a message. While John was talking, he talked about sales and marketing and some of the conversations that are going on out there in the world of sales. I just want to be candid. I'm sort of in that mood today where I'm just like, hey, let's do away with the sugar coating and let's just talk straight. Man, there's just so much bad sales training out there. And there's good. I mean, there's some good stuff out there, but you can hardly walk into any conversation about sales training without hearing these old, tired, worn-out cliches and platitudes of it's a numbers game. It's a numbers game. Go for no. If I'm out there every day looking for 19 no's so I can find that yes. What? Really? But these things get repeated over and over, and they're catchy. They might look good on a Facebook wall. They might even look good printed out and stuck in a sales office on the wall somewhere. But I never made any money looking for no's. Or this attitude that sales is about slinging as much stuff as you can against the wall to see what sticks. But you get into these conversations out there talking to other people in business or in marketing or sales or whatever, and you hear these things, people saying, well, hey, I'll call 100 people. While you talk to 10 people and get one, I'll call 100 people and I'll get 10 and I'll beat you. Well, that's because that person has no concept of efficiency or leverage. That's Jurassic Park marketing. Does it work? Sure, absolutely, it works. And if you don't mind working the way your people worked in the 1980s, you can still get results that way. The realization that the five of us had, independently of each other, was what if I could only spend my time with people who actually want to talk to me? It's a new frontier, my friend. This is not like it was in the 1980s and 90s. Matter of fact, if you're marketing today the way you did 5 years ago, you've probably noticed that there's a sharp decline in results. And so that's why it's so important to not just change your strategy, but to change who you're being as you market. And one of the things that we have done in our businesses is something that I learned from Jay Abraham. It's called a strategy of preeminence. If you want to jot this down, this will be of value for your notes. It's to go from being the sales guy. Now we're all in sales. We're all selling something and getting paid for it. But to position ourselves more as an advisor. I'm a friend to my prospect. I'm an advisor. I'm a consultant. My job is to help them find a solution to their problem. I want to find out what their problem is, and I'm going to be the guy to provide the solution. That's step one. And step two, which relates to preeminence, is the commitment to be the absolute best in your profession, your industry, whatever your niche is, whether you're doing insurance sales or you're a chiropractor or a restaurateur or a salon owner or a home business professional, doesn't matter. Whatever you're in, you commit to the highest level of quality, the highest level of service, and to the point that you would simply never allow one of your prospects or customers to do something that was not in their best interest. And by choosing to be that kind of person, well, now you can write the effective copy. Now you can do an effective webinar because you're not coming across like the old guy who's out there on the sidewalk beating his shoe leather, knocking on doors, trying to get a sale. The times have changed. So instead of it being about trying to get from the conversation or the interaction, it's more about how can I be of value? How can I put something in? And I'll share this with you, and I'm speaking on behalf of my colleagues here. When I made that shift in my own businesses, the money came so quickly into my life. It was like the old Napoleon Hill quote, wondering where it's been hiding all that time. So these concepts of not just what you say when you communicate and how you write effective copy, but who you're being to your prospects and customers. These are 8- and 9-figure results that we're seeing from a simple shift in mindset. And of course, all that spills over into how you write an email, the kinds of headlines you write, what you put on a website, what you put anytime you're communicating with your audience. And we've got some instruction on that, more nuts and bolts type stuff on email marketing, how to create cash on demand, results on demand. But it's all tied to this concept of really being of service and being of value to others. This is something that I see a lot when I talk to Randy. And the refreshing thing about this, working with this particular mastermind, is that when the cameras are off and the microphones are off, it's still the same conversation. And many's the time I've had a conversation with Randy, and it comes through in his language about knowing your audience, knowing what their needs are, knowing what their problems are. Randy, you and I were talking actually earlier today about some of the statistics of what things look like out there in the world. Do you still have that handy? Can you speak to that for a few minutes?
Absolutely. Which stats? I got several right here in front of me. So.
Yeah, we were just talking about how many people are looking for solutions. They go to social media trying to find, a solution to their problem, and they wind up a lot of times listening to the wrong groups. But there's a really, really, really big audience of people out there who want and need value from people like our attendees tonight.
Absolutely. There is some big stats, and I'm going to share a couple of them. And one of the things that right before I do that is what I love about what we're doing here is this webinar is being brought to you by Business Labs Pro, and the word lab is not by accident. What you're experiencing right now is a business lab where you can learn areas where you can mix this together to grow your business. From, we just talked about webinars and some of the secret formula there to grow your business, and then some sales strategy from Tony. It's a great place to be where your prospect don't feel like they need you to buy, that you need them to buy. That's a good place to be, right? And that's exactly what Tony was talking about. And so let me share with you a couple of interesting social media stats. And I'm going to start off with LinkedIn. And here's something that's really interesting. And I want you to think about this stat. LinkedIn has got 364 million users worldwide. And here's the stat I want to bring to your attention. LinkedIn is the 11th most trafficked site in the world. And so for those of you who are marketers on the Hangout or on the webinar, if you went to Alexa, you already know what Alexa is. But for those of you who are business owners and don't know, well, Alexa ranks sites on their traffic. And now it actually bounces between 9 and 11, but just to be on the safe side for everyone on the Hangout, I'm telling you 11. But think about that. It's the 11th most visited site in the world. Do you think as a business professional you might want to pay attention to that, since it's about business? And the answer is absolutely yes. And 48% of the users spend at least 2 hours a week on this platform, and 38% of them, they log on to LinkedIn daily. Okay, and here's where I really took attention to this is right now, with over 364 million users, there's 7,000 groups created weekly on LinkedIn. And the reason why I share that with you is twofold. Number one is I actually personally have over 370 groups that between myself and my staff that we've created, and we're growing. And we're growing that because LinkedIn has been the number one reason for my success online. There's been other reasons, and Facebook's been good to me, but LinkedIn is a gold mine. And more specifically, LinkedIn groups are a virtual gold mine. And so if you learn anything from my segment, write that down and understand this, that probably 65% of all the leads that I've generated with my email list are from LinkedIn groups specifically. And these leads, in my opinion, I have found them to convert about 2 times better than any other source online that I've used. And I think part of that is because the average income of every user on LinkedIn is over $90,000. So now let me share with you some powerful tips about LinkedIn. It all starts with, and this starts with LinkedIn, Facebook, any social media platform you're on, is they are search driven, meaning keywords matter. And so that's something you want to make a note of, because if you want to start getting ROI, or return on investment, return on time from these platforms, you need to understand that they're search driven, they're keyword driven. And here's where I'm going to drop 2 big nuggets about this. Outside of that being that it's search driven, is number one, in LinkedIn groups. LinkedIn groups can range from size of 1,000 to over 1 million. Okay, I have groups that are 20,000, 50,000, 100,000, and I've got over 370 of these groups between myself and the people who work for me. Okay, and here's the thing. I get to send out a weekly dedicated email to all the members of my group. So imagine that, sending out an email to 50,000 people like that. And these people in the social community on LinkedIn join that group, not because of me, and I don't name it my business name. That's another clue. I name it something that's more mission-oriented, like I have one called Wealth Partner. The reason why it's called Wealth Partner, instead of telling them about my Forex product, is because they're more likely to raise their hand and say, yes, I want to generate wealth, than to say, I want to know about your specific Forex product. So I created a group called Wealth Partner, and they join, and they join, and they join, and it grows, and it becomes viral, and people start finding this group, and it continues to grow without me doing anything else after I've done the legwork. And these are my target market, and then I get to send a weekly email to them. Now, let's just say you don't own a group. How could you get an email to everybody in a group, right? Well, there's a thing called the Daily Digest email. And what we've done through our testing is between about 90% of the time, if you post your discussion in a LinkedIn group between 8:30 and 9:30 a.m., then you've got a 90% chance of landing in what's called the LinkedIn Daily Digest email for that group. So if you're a part of a group that's 50,000 and you post in that at that time of the morning, now there's some other parameters that you need to do, like you need to be engaged in the group for 3 or 4 weeks before you ever start really posting any content, and you only want to do this once or twice a week because you don't want to come across spam. That all being said, if you post between 8 and 9:30 a.m. and you're part of a group of 100,000, you got a 90% chance of that content landing right in their email inbox, like their Gmail account, Outlook account, AOL, whatever it might be, and you don't even own the group. All right, so there's major gold with LinkedIn, and so those are some of the nuggets. John and Tony talked more about some of the ways you can get access to tips like that later, but let's talk about Facebook real quick. And Facebook's got over 1 billion users, and if you're a business person, a marketer online, there's 2 schools of thought about Facebook. Number one is there's no way it's good for business, or number 2, I've been trying and I can't crack the code. And well, here's the thing. There's 829 people who log on to Facebook on a daily basis, and 63% are engaged daily. But how do you monetize it? How do you monetize it for your business? And here's the thing. Businesses are monetizing it because there was over $2.6 billion spent last year on Facebook ads. And out of 1 million advertisers, I can actually raise my hand and say, look, I know it works because Facebook, out of 1 million advertisers, sent me an award and said, out of 1 million advertisers, you're one of the best. Your agency is one of the best. And that's not accident. Here's the tips I want to give you about that. Is think about what your prospects, what type of pages they follow. What would your prospects in your target market be interested in? What competitors or peers would they follow? So think about the business pages or fan pages that they may follow. Write those down. Begin to brainstorm. Begin to even go to your customers or prospects profile. Here's a clue, and you can see what types of things they've liked in their profile. Now, some people would say that's creepy or creeping, right? My kids call that creeping on my customer's wall. But you get to see their behavior, and they actually tell you what they like. And then you can take that in your ad set and begin to target the pages that they like. But more importantly is this. How do you post content and ads that go viral? What if there was a formula for that? And I'm going to give you that formula, and here it is. So go to business pages, fan pages, and social discussions where your target market resides. So let's just say that my target market is Tony Robbins following or Brian Tracy's following. I could go to Tony Robbins' fan page and find his most engaged post on that fan page, ones with the most likes, comments, and shares. You'll want to write that down and identify that based off the size of his page. And that's important. You know, if you want to find viral, you got to make sure that it's proportionate to the size of the page and see which post of his or whoever page you're looking at has the most likes, comments, and shares. And you can then deduce that to be in the most viral content. Now, all you got to do is begin to model the most viral content that's posted on a business page that your prospects would be likely to follow, and then write content and ads around that. That's exactly what we do, and that's how we get high conversions. And Facebook has this thing called relevance score, and 1 out of 10, and often our scores are between 8 and 10. And the reason why they're between 8 and 10 is because we're speaking directly to our target market, exactly what they want to hear, and we're presenting that to them, and they're converting. We're generating opt-ins, we're generating leads, generating conversions based off of that. So no more guessing if your content can be viral on social media. No more guessing if you can get a return on time or return on investment. You actually can. So here's what I'm going to do. Before I introduce Bobby and Christian to take this over, I'm going to share with you something really interesting. As big and as powerful as social media is, did you know that search is still the #1 driver of traffic to websites? And not by any small standard. Get ready for this. It beats social media out. Search engine results, SEO beats social media out by over 300%. Okay? And 74% of all internet traffic by 2017 will be video. And I'll share with you one other thing. The chances of getting a page 1 ranking on Google increases by 53% with video. So with that being said, Bobby, Christian, go ahead and take it away.
Alrighty. So we're going to go over a little bit of the technology, but first I want to talk to you about some of the problems that marketers are facing right now when they're doing video marketing or trying to rank in Google. A lot of the previous strategies over the past couple of years is just throw a bunch of spam out there and see what sticks. Get a bunch of rankings, point a bunch of backlinks that are garbage. Google has gotten a lot smarter with the way that they rank. YouTube's gotten a lot smarter with the fake views and all that fun stuff. So what's really king right now is content. And anyone that knows what they're talking about with SEO will tell you that content is king. So what I want to do is show you one of the other major problems that marketers are facing right now. And if I find my button on one of my monitors here, I will share this one. So this is, can somebody let me know when they see that?
It's up. Good.
Okay. So this is YouTube, of course. This is a video that Christian had made a few months ago. And if you take a look at this, if you came here as a prospect or somebody just browsing around the internet, what are your actions that you can do on this page? If you wanted to find more information out about Christian, where could you possibly go? You've got all these ads over here, or images over here where you can click on to get your attention off of there. You can leave comments. You can scroll all over the place, or you can click this one little area right here to go where Christian wants you to go. Do you want to say anything before I show how we fix those problems, Christian?
Yeah, you're talking about leaks. And
yeah, lots of leaks.
Traffic leaks everywhere on the page that you're showing. This is some of the issues I ran into early last year as I was working to get established with video marketing. It's one of the things we can show you guys how to do. We discovered that we had to get off of YouTube. We had to solve some of these problems. So yeah, why don't you show them the way we do business now?
So where could you possibly click here?
Same video, no leaks, right? What you're seeing on your screen now is part of our technology. Anything that a viewer, a searcher clicks on, anything on that page is owned by that page owner. I think in this case that's Bobby's page, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So everything there, it's been built and designed specifically with the content publisher, the content provider in mind. There are no leaks. There are no ways to lose visitors. There's one other thing I want to jump out here and say, Bobby. I think regardless of your business, I'm speaking to the audience now. So whatever your business is, if you have a product, a service, if you're a small business owner, a local business owner, these are all things that we have done as well over the years. And one of the issues that I grappled with as a small business owner is how do I do what I love, do what I'm passionate about, and get customers to walk through the front door or to call me. How do I do both? Because I know what I love, and I do that all day long. But how do I also handle the marketing? Can I outsource that for thousands of dollars a month? Yes, with questionable results most of the time. Could I realistically, on a real part-time basis, maybe an extra hour every day, could I tackle it myself and really command serious attention to my business or my product or my service via the internet? We're here to tell you that you can. You can do this. And part of what you're going to hear us recommend, if you dive into any more of our content, we generally advise treat what we bring as treat it like a buffet. Can I get a feel, get a taste for the different options? Randy with LinkedIn, John with Hangouts and webinars, and the different guys with their different areas of expertise. Dig in enough to understand what each option looks like and feels like, but then pick one and hit the gas. And it's something all of us have seen, this state of overwhelm where business owners all over the world look at maybe an event like this and they go, oh man, I love that, I love that, I love that, I love that, and a month to 2, 6 months later they're chasing their tail, trying to do everything and accomplishing nothing. So focus in, zero in on a single method. This is one thing that I did a little over a year ago, and the results last year were by far the best results I've ever had. And part of that's due to the technology and the methodology that we use here. But anyway, I cut you off, Bobby. I wanted to get that point out.
No problem. One point I want to get across is the fact that our technology will put you on the first page of Google if you follow our training and our instructions. YouTube is an awesome traffic platform, and we definitely show you how to leverage YouTube on top of our platform. You're going to get awesome rankings in YouTube. You're going to get awesome rankings in Google. So it's really the best of all worlds that we've combined into the MyInspire Media platform for you guys to use in a real easy, straightforward way.
Yep. And like Randy said, to kind of kick our segment off here, that organic search, the search volume is so tremendous. That's another a myth or misunderstanding, I think, generally speaking, among small business owners and entrepreneurs working to get exposure online. You don't have to do massive campaigns, and you don't have to do this massive sustained effort necessarily to get significant exposure and additional cash flow for your business. Getting good enough at any one of these areas and leveraging on a very part-time basis can yield really, really significant additional revenue every month and every year for your business.
Definitely.
What else you got, Bobby? You got lots in your head. What else you got? Bobby has solved. You know what? Let me say this. Maybe we can wrap up our segment this way. Bobby has done so much. I think I'm speaking for all of us here. He has done so much to make what otherwise would be really, really challenging, techie stuff, which I am just generally not. It took me forever to finally get a smartphone and be willing to text my friends. I thought it was stupid. I thought it was a fad that was going to pass. That was me. So you can imagine how awesome I'm generally not when it comes to computers and computer stuff. So another challenge that I've seen among business owner friends of mine is this, oh boy, I don't even know how to turn this thing on, let alone use it for marketing. Bobby and the tech team here have made that so simple and so intuitive. This is the kind of thing that I naturally go to use after very little training and exposure to this. I find myself naturally drawn to and leveraging the tech and the platform here to make really strong, really big strides in my business all the time. So thank you, Bobby, and the tech team here.
You're welcome.
That's something you guys in the audience can look forward to. I'm guessing there's a bunch of people here that are like, I don't even know how I got on the Hangout. I'm here. I don't know how I did it. You can leverage our tech and move your business forward. So good stuff.
Well, hey, let's change gears then, and let's go ahead and tell everyone how they can start leveraging the technology and all the type of strategies that we've been talking about. And there's probably no better person to do that than actually John and Tony. So let's turn it over to John and Tony.
Thank you, Randy, and thank you, Christian and Bobby. You know what? I'm just watching what just happened here. We're 48 minutes into this, and we said, you know what? Online sales is good. Webinars, you could do that. Tony's like, hey, we can write copy. Randy's like, hey, how about social media? We get lots of leads. But by the way, SEO beats social media by 300%, but most people don't know how to do it. These two guys have very few words. They know exactly how to do it with this. And look, we didn't even look at rankings. I know Bobby and Christian right now can show you. Let's go to Google, and we're not going to spend any more time on this, okay? But we can go to Google, and we can type some, show me how to do such and such, and boom, here's Christian Henneke, #1 on Google. Here's one of our My Inspired Media clients, what that tool was that Bobby was just showing everyone. That's called My Inspired Media. That's one of our technology products here in Business Labs Pro. So what a smorgasbord, right? I'll take it all. Sign me up for all of it, right? Now here's the thing that is problematic about that is because in 48 minutes, there's no way that we could give people, a solid foundation to stand on with any one of these, let alone, 5, 6 different methods. I didn't even talk about using other people's traffic. You want to get in front of thousands of targeted leads and prospects for your specific kind of business? We got methods to do that too, right? It's called using other people's traffic to create your own lists. And we've got a course that, in fact, we're about to release on that. But let me digress for just a second. Back to what we said before. Back to the light bulb that came on for me as Randy was just introducing us. We realized when we came together to put together Business Labs Pro that we had, just between the 5 of us, we had 5 very strong and very different disciplines that we could build an empire on for all of our users. Business Labs Pro came into existence because we wanted to make marketing training that people will actually use. Right? How many times have you gone out there and just gotten confused? You don't know who the people are. who are training. You don't know if they've got any real stats. You don't know if it's just barking up the wrong tree again, or chasing another guru who, their personality and charisma alone gets the job done for them, but it's not duplicable anywhere else. You don't know, right? So we wanted to create training that actually works and that you'll actually use. We also wanted to create technology that works, that's easy to use. Now, Bobby, although he's not going to boast about himself, Bobby is able to take some of the most complex stuff in the world and turn it into more of an Apple-like experience, right? Like click the shiny button and get the result. And it's that simple because, look, as entrepreneurs, you and I, we have core competencies that are not necessarily, like what Bobby or what Christian or what Tony does, nor do we have time to learn how to be experts in all areas. Okay, so this is like what I was saying before. You get leverage by developing your strengths, right? Like if you're a plumber, be the best damn plumber in the world, okay? But then managing your weaknesses, one of those may be marketing, usually it is, okay? But managing those weaknesses with the strengths of others. So here are, and just in this broadcast tonight, here are 5 people who have created expertise in areas where you likely have not, that you can then leverage our expertise and our technology and our training, which we've created so simple for people from all different walks of business, right? We've got chiropractors, we've got network marketers, we've got all different kinds of professionals, and you could take this stuff and use it to accelerate, and this is important, okay, is one of the other things, speed to market, okay, speed to market. It's like I was talking about before with the, doing webinars, right? Do we have months to put this together? We don't have months. Let's get the message to market, right? If we know what we've got, we can match the market up with the message. Let's get it on the road. So here's some of the things I want you guys to consider as you're watching this, and perhaps this is your first exposure to the 5 of us and what we've created here with Business Labs Pro. We've got a solution which the bottom line for it all is we're here to make marketing easy. If there was one slogan or whatever that we put on this, it's make marketing easy, because we know that is 90% of the results you're going to get in your business. You can have the best ideas, the best products, the best services in the world. But if it's a secret, if you're not getting exposure in the marketplace, if you're not creating influence in the marketplace by using some of these strategies and methodologies that we talked about here, you'll work more hours, and yeah, you can pay your bills, but you're never going to get that traction that you deserve. We celebrate entrepreneurship here, and we want you to completely exceed any mediocrity from your friends, family, and neighbors who are working jobs or anything like that. A lot of times the entrepreneur doesn't get credit. It gets lonely sometimes. You know what I mean? I know you guys know what I'm talking about. You're working while people are out, tiptoeing through the tulips. Okay, we want your results to show that it was worth it. Okay, and if we can help you do that faster, sooner rather than later, that's beautiful. And the stories and the feedback we get from people who are engaging our technology and our training, I think, speak for themselves. So I'm going to bring Tony out here. Maybe Tony, you could show a little demo of what we've got and what we've got coming out here.
Well, actually, I'm lousy at multitasking. Are you able to pull it up on your end while I offer a thought?
I could do something. Let me show you something.
Yeah. If you'll pull up, maybe we do a live tour of the back office and show folks. Let me share a story, and this was not something I was planning on telling tonight. But I think this will encapsulate a little bit of why what we're doing is so unique. Last fall, I mentioned earlier that I flew halfway around the world to meet Randy Shrum. There's a slightly larger story there, in that we actually, all 5 of us, found ourselves out in the middle of the Arabian desert with camels and falcons and belly dancers, and this wonderful event where a very, very small number of people of a group of elite marketers had gotten together to do some masterminding, and we kind of all gravitated toward each other. But an interesting thing happened in this trip. I wound up riding with a camera crew in the back of this vehicle, and Christian, who you already met, was sitting about 3 or 4 rows ahead of me. And he said something that I knew that I had misheard him. Because someone asked Christian, they said, now, and Christian's a fairly humble guy, no arrogance there, but I will tell you that Christian is a multiple 7-figure income earner in his own businesses. That's net income after marketing and expenses. And the guy across the aisle in this vehicle, is like a small little bus van type thing, said, well, what kind of, for that business, Christian, what kind of budget are you looking at? And he said, well, I'm spending somewhere around about $150 a month. I said, $150,000 a month? He said, no, no, God, no, $150. And I said, what? $150 a month is your entire budget. Now, let me put that in perspective. I was also earning about the same kind of income that Christian was earning in his business, in a different business, and my overhead was 5 figures a month. So we get back to the Armani Hotel at the Burj Khalifa, which is the tallest building in the world, and I corner Christian, and I said, what do you mean? And he said, well, here's the thing. The way I'm doing it is not scalable. I've got to figure out how to show people how to market the way I market, that in a way that'll let them get hundreds of qualified laser-targeted prospects every month, just like I do. And it was about 4 months later, he said, hey, me and Bobby have cracked the code on this, and we are ready to roll it out to the public. And so Randy and John and I got to see it for the first time, and it was twice as good as what Christian had been describing before. So what we're talking about for you guys, yes, we have sales training. Yes, there's information. Yes, there's stuff. We'll teach you how to get more traffic and how to turn those traffic into leads and how to turn those leads into sales. We'll show you all of our sales processes so that you understand what the various business models, so you can apply them to whatever it is you do, whatever that business is. But here's the thing. Our focus is we want to show you how to double your traffic, double your leads, double your business. And one of the ways that we do that is with this tool that was developed by Christian and Bobby, which allows you to capture some of the most amazingly targeted prospects on the internet by positioning yourself in a way that you just can't pay for. It is not really feasible for somebody to buy their way into this quality of marketing. You can only do it. You can only follow the instructions, and boom, there you are in the top search results. So I'm restating in a way what Christian and Bobby have already shared, but I don't think this can be overstated. Can you picture what it would be like for somebody to go look up your product or service and find that you're #1 on Google for that? Like, there's no way. There's no way you can really buy that quality of prospect. So when you couple that alongside all the sales training and marketing training, it really is a total package that's unlike anything that we've ever seen before. We basically wanted to create for you guys the tool that we always wish we had access to when we were getting started. So anyway, with that said, if we can lock onto John's screen, and John, as a matter of fact, I'll just let you narrate it as well because you know where you're going to click. But let's just take a look at what the back office actually looks like.
Sure. Yeah, this is Business Labs Pro, and it's a complete portal that includes the training programs from Tony, myself, Randy, Christian, and Bobby, plus the technology suite known as My Inspired Media, which is the sort of the done-for-you SEO, like that page that Bobby showed you briefly where he was showing Christian's video and all the buttons, everything, all the social syndication buttons, everything was linking back to Bobby's stuff. All of that took about 3 minutes to set up as a user. It didn't take Bobby 3 minutes to program it all, but it takes the user about 3 minutes. So it's like done for you SEO, and it works. And all that's in here. So we've got here's our main dashboard when you log in. We've got some training programs and more on the way. How to get free leads with the My Inspired Media marketing platform. Here's 12 modules from Christian and Bobby that show you exactly step by step how to dominate any keyword, any niche, any industry. And it works wonderfully with local marketers, like you've got maybe a brick-and-mortar business, or you're an expert in your area, your physical area. Brilliant. It also works for virtual businesses. Okay, like in my case, I deal with information products, things like that. Spectacular. So that's all in here. Facebook. Here's Randy's giveaway training on how to create like a Facebook giveaway scenario that in this one case study, 904 leads in less than 30 days. Okay, he's going to show you exactly how to do that in 9 modules. How to generate 100 leads in 14 days on LinkedIn. And again, this is very accessible for the person who maybe has never even touched LinkedIn up to this point. Okay, so this will get you into, as Randy said, the 11th most trafficked website in the world, and trafficked by who? A very desirable crowd. Okay, so that's something you're going to want to learn right there, and it's very brief, 5 modules, and you can start getting results immediately. You want to know more about the webinar style sales and conversions techniques that I've used? Here it is, right here, the $10.2 million webinar blueprint. I'll show you exactly what I did. I even do a demo in there. Here's what I click on, the whole thing. And I even put in a bunch of some sales psychology tips and tricks and things that I've picked up over the last couple of decades to once again put some horsepower into your webinars. This one's about to come out this week. This is moments away. Email Marketing Secrets Uncovered. This is our friend Tony, who you just heard from, showing how he writes emails that convert, that get people wanting more, get people clicking, get people subscribing and referring others to your content, whether it's newsletters, whether it's a product launch, income opportunities, any kind of a direct selling experience. All of that is in here. We also have one that's going to be coming out in a couple of days using other people's traffic, other people's lists. In fact, let me offer you this. We've got a couple of experts who we work with. That's their whole life. Their whole life is creating traffic for third parties. In other words, you've got a business, you need people looking at your website. They are the experts at doing that, and they've made some very nice offers for people here in Business Labs Pro. I will mention one of those offers when we're done here. But let me continue the tour a little bit, and this is constantly growing, this training section. We've also got a full 24-hour support staff. We've got forums where you can interact. You can see up here where I'm clicking or almost just hovering. We've got forums that you can discuss any of these topics and get ideas from other members from around the world. We've got members in every continent except Antarctica using this, right? So we're here. Okay, this is happening now. My Inspired Media, here's the entire platform at your disposal, like what Bobby just showed you an example of. We've got a social syndication platform. What this is, imagine that you are exchanging, you're familiar with like a traffic exchange, but sometimes those are less than credible. Imagine that you have content, like in your My Inspired Media account, your videos, your articles and such, and you've got other people actually sharing them, watching your videos, sharing them organically with other social media networks, getting syndication or multiple publishing through multiple platforms, instantly raising your credibility and your authority, not only in the marketplace, but in the eyes of the search engines. We're talking about very, very effective syndication by real people, no bots, okay, very, very attractive, very desirable for those organic search results, which, as Christian already mentioned, is the best kind of traffic you can get, because these people are predisposed and pre-motivated to knowing, liking, and trusting you, and ultimately being interested in your offer. We also have an affiliate program where you can participate and carry the message and get a nice commission on that. And what is this here? Settings, right? So all of this is in here. Again, training you'll actually use because it's simple, it's digestible, it's accessible. Technology that actually works, that makes it simple for you to engage, right? And not like you need a college degree to start, getting any kind of traction with this. And the bottom line of all of it is marketing made easy. So you could stick with what you know and be the best at what you know, and not have to try and pretend to be the best at all things that you didn't even know about existed yesterday, and now you're supposed to be an expert so you can start making money. We want you making money quickly and by leveraging off of our experience and our expertise. And again, that's different for each of us. And what is that leverage? That leverage is develop your strengths and manage your weaknesses with the strengths of others. That's why Business Labs Pro exists. We honor the entrepreneur. You have our total respect, and we wanted to create something that anyone, regardless of their expertise or how much experience they have or any conditions that people could disqualify themselves with, we wanted this to be usable by everyone. So when we put this together, we thought it's got to be worth $300 a month, just the technology piece alone. $300 a month, no question about it. Industry experts have said it's worth more. Frankly, we've got people that are very enthusiastic about what we've created here and who are, they just think that we've underpriced it tremendously. Here's what we've done. We've created something for the brand new marketer or for the brand new participant. You may be in business for years and years and years, but we've created this entire platform, including other trainings that are coming in here, some of which you'll gravitate towards and you'll use them like mad. Others you'll say, hey, that's not my cup of tea. That's fine. We've got so many different varieties and disciplines coming in here, including other experts who you haven't even met tonight who are putting their expertise into our library. Okay, and we've got all of it inclusive for $97. $97. You get everything. Okay, now as if all that wasn't enough, let me come back on screen here. Wait, where's my screen? Let me jump back on here. I'm going to stop screen sharing. So, $97 a month, you get the technology, you get everything, it's done for you, it's ready to use right now. You get the forums, you get the 24-hour support staff, you get Tony, Christian, you get Bobby, his program, and you get Randy and his social media training products. All of that's included. In addition to that, we've got 2 bonuses that we just came out with for our new members. Number 1, you're going to get a multi-module series with behind-the-scenes sort of interview style, very candid, very real, inside the minds of each of the people you just met to talk about some of our closely held strategies, things that we do on the back end, which causes our stuff to work. Okay, 2 people engaged in the same activity can have completely different results. At least as important as the how-to is the why-to, right? So we're going to get into the why behind some of the stuff we do to, again, accelerate the evolutionary process of you, the new user, so you not only have the mechanics of it, but you have the theory behind it, right? Like a karate master, right? We can go through the motions, but why? Why do those motions even exist? We want you to get the why because it'll make you so much more potent in your execution. We want to give that to you on the house. I don't even know what that's worth, okay? But I can tell you anything I can use, and I've invested hundreds of thousands of dollars into my own education, anything that I can use to accelerate my own evolution, it's worth it to me, okay? Hundreds of thousands in, millions out. Good investment. The second thing is, I alluded to before, concerning other people's traffic, right? Getting immediately in front of thousands of targeted prospects who are ideally predisposed to your specific business. How would you like to talk with somebody who that's their whole life? Their whole life is the acquisition of data and the delivery of targeted prospects, leads, and contacts into your database. We've got an arrangement that this just came together not even 48 hours ago, just before I was getting on a plane. We've got one of the best experts in the entire United States. They've got people that they work with outside of the country too, but their main focus in this case is the United States. They've got tens of millions of data records for every kind of business. I mean, I was looking at B2B in addition to B2C. If you got something that's the ideal product for the goat farmer, they've got goat farmers. I mean, they've got everything. They know pretty much everything, okay? And they said that because they took a look at what we're doing here, they saw the value of it. They're actually going to participate in one of our training products, teaching people how to get into using lists. And I'm sure you guys are familiar with direct mail and direct-to-consumer email campaigns and phone rooms, telemarketing, all this. They know all this stuff. They want to give anyone who gets started with Business Labs Pro 1,000 contacts for you to start with on the house. And they will even do the consultation to make sure it's the exact ideal target list, a target audience for you. Now, what's that worth, right? 1,000 contacts, and they even have the campaigns and things that they'll custom create, the creative process to go out based on your business. So you're a chiropractor, and you're looking for people who have the back pain and these zip codes and whatever. They know all that stuff. They'll put it on your plate on the house. Here's 1,000 people ready to do business. So all that's here, $97 a month. The URL where you can go and you can get this. And by the way, everything we do is 100% zero risk, money back guarantee, no questions asked. Okay, so you go into this stuff, you start using the training, using the product. I know you're going to love it. We love it, and we're the creators of it. So I know we're a little bit biased, but thousands and thousands of our users from around the world are also loving it, and they're like, this is saving me real money. Okay, this is saving me thousands of dollars a month. Not to mention the heartache and the guesswork of dealing with all the people who are so-called experts out there who could never get me the result that I can get with myself just by using these tools. Thank you, Business Labs Pro. We hear this every single day. So that being said, $97 you can go to businesslabspro.com/start. businesslabspro.com/start. You're going to get the entire platform, including My Inspired Media, all the training courses. You're going to get the bonus interview product and 1,000 free contacts from our top expert in all of the data services world right here in the United States. There's 1,000 contacts on the house. They're even going to consult with you to make sure you get the right stuff that you need. So businesslabspro.com/start. And this is just the beginning. Okay, I know this price has to go up in short order. So I would say jump on this now. Take our bonuses. Take our 100% money back guarantee. And you're probably going to wind up wanting to share this with other people too. So you may want to sign up as an affiliate as well. So those are the main things that we wanted to offer you here tonight. I want to bring either Tony or Randy back here. Hopefully you guys can still hear me. Everybody's really quiet. Am I alone here? Is there anybody else?
No, it's well, you know, I at the risk of being redundant, this is what I wish I had when I got started. When I made the decision to start moving with leverage and efficiency, when I made the decision to get out of that business model of let's sling as much stuff as we can against the wall and see what sticks, this was the training that I looked for. It doesn't exist anywhere. There's good training out there, but what I found was that I had to go here for a little bit. I had to go here for lead generation training. I had to go over here for sales conversion. I had to have 4 or 5 different software systems, services to be able to create what I needed to actually take action on any of the training. So it's a wonderful thing to have it all under one roof, and I think your description is solid.
Very good. So yeah, you can go right there. You can see on the screen, hopefully, businesslabspro.com/start. There may be a button on this page too, Randy. I'm not sure what the tech is that we got set up, which again is a testament to the fact that you don't have to be a techie. I'm not a techie, but I'm not sure, Randy, if you've got something else you wanted to cover before we wrap up here tonight.
No, I don't. Any last comments by anybody else, and we can close off the webinar.
Well, I would look to Bobby or Christian because they've said the least, but I know that's their tendency to say the least. Here's the thing, guys. We've got our chief technologist, Bobby Baker, who can also make sentences in English. So right there, that's a huge, huge accomplishment. And and Christian, let me just give you a hint about Christian. He ranks for all kinds of keywords with his videos and stuff, but his videos are only like a minute to a minute and a half long. Right, so think about this. Sometimes people think they need to be a poet or something, or they're doing some Pulitzer work, you know, when they get into like content marketing. Not the case. Not the case. Let these guys show you how simple marketing can be. Okay, I'll tell you what. You do little things. You do them right. It pays huge dividends. And I think that's one of the big wins with what we've got here with Business Labs Pro is that you don't have to pretend to be an expert in areas that you're not. Like Christian alluded to, you can be passionate about what you're passionate about and still attract people with a business inclination. He's got methods to do this, which just make it so easy for people. Again, it's marketing made easy. So we want everybody to win. That's why we're here. The 5 of us, we can go anywhere and make money. We do this because it's a passion. We do this because we honor and cherish entrepreneurship. We think we need more of it, and we need more people succeeding with it. Okay? We don't like the statistics of, you know, only a few, percentage of people succeed in this business or that business. We like to uplift and edify the entrepreneur, and if we can help you do that through gaining leverage through our stuff, our content, our technology, whatever, that's what we're here to do. I know I sound like a broken record, but look, guys, this is all we think about. You know, just for anybody watching now who's wondering, you know, what's the driving force behind all this? It's the purpose. We're very purpose-driven. That's how we've been in our businesses. That's how we've gotten as individuals to the points where we're at now. And now our focus has shifted into what can we do to create that sort of experience in the marketplace for people who may not have 25 years to sit around reading success philosophy to finally come up with some answers, right? So that's where we're at, guys. I hope you take advantage of this. Like Tony said, it's the stuff that I wish was around 20 years ago when I started. So thanks everybody for being here. Randy, I'll let you close it out.
No, yep, we appreciate everyone making it out, and we'll be announcing some future webinars, so be on the lookout for that, and be on the lookout for some follow-up emails where we'll share some more information just about what's going on in the lab. And but that being said, we appreciate everyone making it here. Leave a comment below. Let us know what you like best about the webinar, and look forward to reaching out and seeing you guys on our next hangout or webinar in the future. Good night, everybody.